Everybody, welcome to another episode of Ask the Texas Oak, starring Classic Physique Pro Logan Franklin, brought to you by GATSport. And now all the way from Texas, please welcome Logan Franklin. What's up, Logan?
What's up, guys? What's up, Ron?
Are you actually a native Texan? You're born and bred?
I wasn't born here, but my mom and my dad moved here before I turned 1. And I've lived here my entire life, except for whenever I joined the military and a few years following.
Yeah, you don't have that drawl, like the Texas kind of it's not really Southern. It's a weird accent. It's not like the Southern accent over in like Alabama, Mississippi, but there's definitely an accent, a Texas accent. Yeah. Well, I'm in Boston. You don't hear Boston and me. It's all good. All right. So Ask the Texas Oak, we've got some great questions for you. I want to start off with one that I think a lot of young men are going to have to face sooner or later in their life, especially if they're have a special woman in their life and they want to do what you're doing. So here it is. I've heard some pros like Shawn Ray say it's best to stay single and wait until you retire to get married and start a family. Others like Lee Haney believed his family strengthened him and gave him a greater purpose. Since you started your pro career as a single man and you now have a family, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's a double-edged sword, obviously. I mean, there's benefits of not having, a family, a single man. You can completely isolate yourself and not worry about dividing up your focus and energy to other things. But I mean, there's something about having a woman at home that loves you, supports you, and a little man, or if you have a daughter or whatever, it's different. But it's definitely very challenging. But I see both sides. I see both sides of the statement being true.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine? Well, you did it, I assume. Going through everything you go through, and then coming home every night to an empty house or an empty apartment, versus being welcomed with someone who loves you, or even a child who's part you. I mean, I can't even. I started real young.
I think as a single man doing this, it can lead to a lot of distractions in a way of, some of these guys might get involved with, going out and doing the nightlife lifestyle or some things like that. Chasing women can be a distraction. Just the single man mentality, I guess. But if you're a single guy and you can get out of that mentality and just fully focus, and this is everything, then it can be very beneficial. But I mean, like I said, there's something about having a woman that's there for you.
Yeah. I mean, I've known so many guys over the years who had fantastic genetics, could have gone far, but they're always chasing women. They're always in, restraining orders, or baby mamas coming after them. It was always some kind of chaos and drama. They had no stability in their lives. Like you said, not every single guy is going to be like that, but that's a bad scenario for anyone trying to succeed at anything, I think, because it's pure distraction. All right, let's get into training. Enough about this enough Lifetime movie stuff. The old school bodybuilders like Arnold and Franco used to do tons of parallel bar dips for their chest. I don't see anyone these days doing that. Are dips something we should be doing for chest, or do you think they get plenty of work with various presses with barbells, dumbbells, and machines?
I think the dips are almost like a pull-up. It's a lost exercise. I most certainly finish off every single chest workout with dips. And just because I feel it's different. It's different. It always pumps my chest way more than it's already pumped. And you just finish the workout feeling so round and full. And it's not an exercise that I would skip. It's too easy to do. It takes no energy, do 3 sets to failure and squeeze the whole way through. There's no cheating it.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you're doing it at the very end of chest. You don't need to strap on weight at that point.
Oh yeah. At the very end of chest. And there's no power in the movement. It's all squeeze. So you squeeze, to the maximum stretch point, and then you squeeze back into the peak contraction. So staying in the squeeze.
Yeah, good point there. Chins and dips. I don't see people doing those anymore. Chins. My goodness, if you're not doing chin ups, unless you have some kind of shoulder itch, something that makes it impossible. Why aren't these people? Because obviously lat pull downs are easier. That's why.
Yeah, but lat pull downs, you're pulling something down rather than pulling yourself up. So it activates differently. And, you know, everyone's getting their knowledge from TikTok nowadays. So look.
What a world we live in. You're 100% right, though. It's so true. All right. Here's a fun one for you. As a veteran of the armed forces who served overseas during wartime, do you get offended when you hear bodybuilders describing themselves as warriors who are going to war every time they go to the gym?
I don't get offended. I definitely think it's funny if someone has never been in that situation. They don't know what war is like. But, you know, I get the mentality. You want to give it everything and treat it as such. So I honestly just kind of, if I were to read that, I would just read over it. Who cares?
Well, I'm glad you take it with a grain of salt. I assume stolen valor pisses you off, though.
Stolen valor is very insulting. Very insulting.
Which, for those who don't know, that's people dressing in military uniforms who were never actually in the military. And that's terrible. That's a crime. I think should be a crime.
The lowest of low.
All right. Another training question. A pretty well-known old school bodybuilder, not sure if you're familiar with him. He won the Mr. America, named Doug Brignoli, advises lifters to stay away from overhead presses for shoulders and instead to concentrate on various types of lateral movements, like lateral raises, all types of raises. Do you think it's possible to build the deltoids to their maximum size potential without presses?
To build them to the maximum size?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. But I have not done shoulder presses since I was stationed in Korea back in 2013.
Wow.
I specifically took that out of my regimen completely. I just felt that my front delt was, you know, big enough compared to the rest of the heads of my shoulder. So therefore, I needed to work more on the sides and the rears to keep it all in proportion. You know, the front gets activated enough for me whenever I'm doing chest exercises, although I am keeping my shoulders back to make sure that the majority of the tension is in the chest. It's still going to get a little bit of that front delt. So I'm not going to say it's unnecessary to do them because, I mean, you can put a lot of weight on the shoulder presses, and the weight is what's going to help expand the muscle as long as you're squeezing it properly and effectively. But I don't know. I would say to get it to the maximum size. What is the maximum size? Is it today's like open bodybuilding standards?
Yeah.
Or is it 90s look, you know, the classic age? If it's that look, I would say you don't necessarily need to do shoulder presses, because I don't. And I feel that my shoulders are up to par with the shoulders back in those days.
Yeah.
But to be like an open bodybuilder of today's generation, I would think you would need to do some shoulder pressing to just get that density.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting you say that. We did a video, Jose Raymond and I, a couple of days ago, talking about like why the guys back in the old days, like Arnold, Franco, Ferrigno, they all had these massive chests, and he pointed out, but none of them, not one of them had the big boulder delts like you see today in open bodybuilding, because that wasn't considered a good aesthetic. They wanted more of a, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't want to say sloped, because that doesn't sound right, but they didn't want big overblown delts back then. They thought that would be.
We've spoken about this too. Don't mean to cut you off, but you and I have actually spoken about this. The reason why I don't try to grow my shoulders to grow them, I just try to keep them in proportion with themselves.
Yeah.
Is to allow my chest to overflow my shoulder, to allow my arms to overflow. So therefore you have more of a bubbly round effect, rather than a lot of guys nowadays, they have great chests or arms, but they still look like they're underdeveloped because there's some obsession with getting massive shoulders now. So that shoulder right there, because it's in between, can make the two look like they're underdeveloped whenever it's so big.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes shoulders get so big they get accused of using synthol.
Yeah,
I had to throw that dig in there. I'm sorry. Okay, here's a good one. I'm sure you've had some intense workouts over the years. Is there any one workout that stands out in your mind for any reason as the toughest or most intense workout ever in your life?
I would say it'd have to be one of my old leg workouts with my old training coach, Cash Guidry, who would put me through some hell in the hot gyms here in Texas at like 100 degrees plus humidity, high humidity. Just a warehouse style gym, so you get all the heat and humidity.
Great.
And just having a really, really intense training session, not letting you quit and literally pushing you to failure. I would say a workout like that would probably be one of the most hellacious, as you would say.
The place you train now, does it have air conditioning or no AC?
Hunter Labrada's gym, it's got not really AC. It's AC, but not.
Okay.
It's just the right temperature.
Well, it's either air conditioning or it's not, because like Metroflex, they have fans, but that's not air conditioning. It's just blowing the hot air around, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You guys in Texas, you don't want air conditioning? You like training in that? I guess you're getting ready.
Texas heat.
You're ahead of it. The whole world's going to be 150 degrees in the summer eventually. So I guess we better get used to it.
Oh man, let's hope it doesn't get there.
Well, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah,
so,
they'll really get rid of all of our combustion cars then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to go underground like the mole people, I think, eventually. Or I often said, Canada, it's pretty cold, isn't it? Why don't we just all move to Canada? They got plenty of room. I know that. All right, and your final question, some nutrition question here. Do you believe in eating more calories or carbs on days you train larger body parts like legs or back, or is your food intake the same every day?
I'm sure there's some science behind, having higher calorie days on, bigger muscle group training sessions, I would say.
Yeah.
But me specifically, right now, I'm not cycling my calories. I'm just kind of, trying to eat the same and stay consistent and clean the whole way through. Okay.
All right. So full disclosure, everybody, I made up all these questions, but you can get your questions to Logan in the next video if you leave them in the comments below. You also need to like the video and share the video. That's very important. But if you have some good questions, we'll definitely get them in the next episode, and Logan will be very, very happy to tackle them. Of course, if we get 1,000 questions, we're not gonna ask Logan 1,000 questions, but we get some good ones. Send us some good questions, guys. So Logan, enjoy your prep. You are at this point, we're talking on a Friday, September 16th. You are, was it 13 weeks from tonight? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Yeah. 13 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah. So you're doing judging Saturday afternoon and final Saturday night, right?
Yes, sir. Actually, I just received the Mr. Olympia contract through email last night. Signed it and returned it within 5 minutes of it hitting my email.
Of course. I wonder who's the idiot that lets it like linger in their email box for a month. Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do Olympia. Do I want to do Olympia? I don't know. I'm thinking about it. All right. Well, Logan Franklin, thank you so much. Follow him on Instagram, guys, at Logan_Franklin. Go to his YouTube channel. It's called Logan Franklin. Tons and tons of great stuff on there. And I know Milo Sarshev on his channel occasionally has some cool training stuff with you too. So all that and more. So thanks to GATSport for the support and all that for you, for the show. And you guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Later.
Yeah, good stuff, man.